Hello friends, very warm welcome to our live webinar today. I'm really happy to see all of you here, and I really hope that all of you are doing well and that you are enjoying first spring days and feel like a lot of motivation, a lot of new energy and a lot of new inspiration. So let's start this month in a very productive way. Let's not waste any more minutes and start our live webinar. So today we're going to speak about strategy and first round interview simulation. And our live webinar will be by our two consulting masters, our career coaches, Andre Homulenko and Gaurav Bhosle. And I want to start our webinar with agenda. In the beginning, we will speak about format and rules. Then we will make a small introduction where we will tell you about our team for today and how we work with our clients. Then we will start our main part of the webinar, interactive case interview simulation. After this, you'll be able to hear a feedback from our experts, Gaurav and André. And in the end, you will hear a conclusion and receive some bonus materials. About our format and rules. The duration of our webinar is going to be 2 hours. Firstly, we'll make an introduction for 30 minutes. Then will be our main part, interactive interview simulation for 60 minutes. And after this, you'll be able to hear feedback from our experts and we'll speak about some next steps for 30 minutes. And I want to ask you, please mute till the end and turn your camera off during the simulation. And enjoy the show. Yes, and we just want to remind you that stay with us until the end to receive bonus materials and our special offer for the first session with our coaches, because only those who will stay with us till the end will receive all of these goodies. And now I want to introduce you our team. So my name is Alina and I'm client manager at Consulting Masters, and I will be a moderator of our today's webinar. And now I want to introduce you our client, Ahmad. Ahmad, hello, how are you? Can you please tell us about yourself?
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So this is Ahmad Shamsuddin, and I just graduated from Imperial College as a master's in finance and accounting. And before joining Imperial, I did my bachelor in finance at the American University of Beirut. And I'm currently searching for jobs in the consulting industry with the help of Andre and Gaurav and the whole team.
Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you a lot for your time. We really appreciate it a lot. And now I want to introduce you our amazing coaches. First of all, I want to introduce you Gaurav. Gaurav, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing? So happy to see you, so many of you in numbers today's session. Yeah, thanks for being here. My name is Gaurav. I'm from India. I grew up in Mumbai, in India. I am an engineer by education, and then I have some experience in tech, along with a couple of startups under my belt. I did my MBA from HEC in Paris and went on to join McKinsey in Frankfurt office in Germany. Yeah, next 6 years saw me working on a lot of projects across Europe, Africa, Asia. Pretty interesting one. I got a chance to work with the Prime Minister of Netherlands, got a chance to turn around an Italian bank, did work for 6 months in Mauritius, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so had my 6 years in strategy consulting. Then in 2014 onwards, I have a coaching practice. I'm a full-time coach. Career coaching is my passion. It's my life. And till now, in career coaching, specifically in consulting readiness, I have around more than 500 candidates who have gone through me, and have gone on to join consulting companies like McKinsey, BCG, and all the top consulting firms. Yeah. So happy to be here. Happy to help you guys achieve your career dreams. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Gaurav. And now I want to give a word to our amazing career coach, Andre. Andre, hi, how are you?
Hi, Alina. Thank you very much. I'm doing really very well, and I'm so excited to see so many new faces here. So, hi, everyone, also from my side. My name is Andre Homulenko, and I'm a professional career coach and mentor. We help students, MBAs, and young professionals to get into consulting, mainly for two key reasons. Just to tell you a little bit more about myself, I'm born Ukrainian. I came as an immigrant back in 2008 to Germany when I won the scholarship from the German government for studies. And in Germany, I experienced consulting for the first time. I went for an internship back in Ukraine to Roland Berger in Kiev office back in 2010. And already in my second project, I was exposed to the government. I supported Russian government in preparing the country for the Winter Sochi Olympic Games 2014. And I was, sorry, can you please mute your microphones, gentlemen? Yeah, thank you very much. So I was exposed already to having worked on multi-million projects, which has the results of this was seen by 1 billion people back in 2014. And of course, I was truly amazed about kind of an impact which I, as a young guy, 21-year-old, can create in consulting, which was my biggest motivation to continue that career after my graduation in Germany. And then I used to work on more than 30 assignments in different countries around the world, starting from Western Europe, France, Netherlands, Belgium, Central Europe, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, so-called DACH region, Eastern Europe, Poland, Ukraine, Russia as well. And I also spent a couple of years in the Middle East, working for very interesting digital assignments over there in the region and helping to shape the local infrastructure and public services. So this is the reason number one. And reason number two, since very young, it has been also my passion to help people in going and applying and getting the jobs. I've actually started back in 2013 with helping my friends after graduation to get their offers in the leading consulting companies as well. And last year we have established also our partnership with Gaurav, and we have founded our own platform, Consulting Masters, where we help students and young professionals like you to also receive the top-notch offers from the very best consulting companies around the world. So let's speak about it in a little bit more detail moving forward. So on the next page, you will see that our company, we as Consulting Masters, we help you to go in a structured way through the tailored preparation according to your specific situation and to your needs. We will help you and walk hand in hand with you throughout the entire process. So from the beginning, from setting the right objectives, like what are the companies, what are the regions and locations, and what are the positions you want to apply. So first of all, let's define the priorities together. Secondly, As you probably know, CV and cover letter from your side needs to be polished to certain specific consulting standards. We will help you with that through our expertise. Since Gaurav and myself, we have been also actively interviewing candidates for McKinsey, Roland Berger, ZADB, and other consulting companies when we were consultants on our own. So therefore, we know what consulting companies are looking for in those documents. Since we both combine more than 12 years of consulting experience, we of course have a very broad network. And therefore, we are also very keen to help you in these challenging times with your networking activities. And we will show you the tools how you can effectively expand your network, but we will also utilize our network in order to help you to receive those interview invites. Because the old statistics shows that, for example, for McKinsey, less than 1% of the applicants will actually make it to the offer. So out of the 1,000 candidates, maybe less than 10 will receive an offer, actually. So therefore, it's highly competitive industry, and we are here to provide you the best service, to help you to open the right doors, to recommend you to the decision makers within those firms. And then, of course, we help you to prepare for the upcoming interviews. We help you to pass the first interview round, the test, the second interview round, and the final interview round with McKinsey. And today's webinar is simply highlighting and helping you to experience how would the first interview round with strategy and look like. That's why the webinar is called in the way that we are going to simulate today the first interview round with strategy. So then, after you have received offers, and you will definitely, with our support, receive multiple offers, we help you to make the right decision. What is the best firm, what is the best offer according to your long-term goals. And after that, like making to the offer is just the beginning of a journey. We are more than happy to share more than our 12 years of experience in consulting with you to help you to get on the right foot in consulting, to start hitting the ground from the day one, because the first 100 days are so critical in your future career. So this is the stand in which you are working out. And my personal story is that, after you will get into consulting, there are 3 tracks in consulting. So there is a principle called upper route, which means that you are either promoted or you are asked to leave. So imagine that you, together with 10 other people, join one of the leading consulting company. And you will definitely see that after within the first 6 or maybe 12 months, 2 of your colleagues out of 10 will most probably be asked to leave the company because their performance is not up to the standard. Then most probably another 6 to 7 people will get promoted to the next level, like from junior consultant to senior consultant within the next 18 or 24 months. And there will be most probably just only one person, and hopefully that will be you, who will be promoted faster than 18 months. So within 12 months, as a rule. This is what is called fast track career. And just to share my personal experience, I have been promoted with Roland Berger right after only 5 months of being within the firm. And this is considered to be extremely fast. This is actually something which doesn't normally happen. I don't know any other person who has been promoted that fast. And we also have defined a separate program which will help you to become ready for the first 100 days, and also which will build a solid foundation for your long-term career success, as you would be able to grow faster and more sustainable and become even more successful in your future consulting career. So as you see, we follow the holistic approach. We start from setting the right objectives, and we provide you the continuous support until and after you get the offer, in order to make you to become a star consultant. Gaurav, I think you want to add something?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people say that, no, what is this sixth point, decision making? I just give you a very, very recent example. Just last week, one of our mentee got two offers, one from McKinsey and another from Bain. Okay, the same guy receiving two offers. Normally, in that particular geography, by the size of office and brand, etc., you would actually go with McKinsey, right? But there were so many other factors in play that the level at which the McKinsey was actually pegging him, the kind of the salary composition, and thirdly, this guy was from a private equity background and wanted to get into venture capitalist towards the after the consulting, right? And we had some discussion with different friends of ours in industry, and then we came to the conclusion that probably Bain is a better choice from a long-term career strategy perspective, right? So all these decisions are so important, and just wanted to again re-stress this point. It's not just about preparation, and it's not just about cracking interview. Yeah, it's about really becoming a star consultant, which means adding an impact, right? But also having an enjoyable consulting career. Yeah, and the entire intention and the way, in fact, companies called consulting masters and not consulting preparation, right, is that we want to create master consultants out of this. Yeah, we don't want to have a factory of just case crackers, right? So that's the holistic intentions with which we are moving forward.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this approach has already shown multiple outcomes, because so far together with Gaurav, we were able to help more than 150 people to join McKinsey, BCG, and Bain. And we have also helped more than 450 other people to join further firms like Roland Berger, Strategy, and Kearney, Oliver Wyman, Big Four companies, Accenture Strategy, etc. And on the next page, I'm actually very happy to announce that just this month, just on Monday, this week, 7 of our mentees has joined these leading companies, in particular McKinsey, Bain, Roland Berger, and Oliver Wyman, in different offices in Europe, in Middle East, and Southeastern Asia. So therefore, great work always pays off. But I think that I have spoken more than enough, and I would like on the next page to give the word to our current clients. And in particular, maybe I see that Ahmad Shamsuddin, Ahmed Nasir, Sachin Gavle, Michelle Kalai, Marc Teruz, anyone else? Preedham, Ali Bakhizadeh, and Gabriel Lazos are here in the room. So can you maybe guys also turn on your cameras and microphones and speak a little bit about your personal experience of working with us? Ahmad Shamsuddin, would you like to start?
Yeah, I would like to start. Thank you, Andre, for giving me this opportunity to be here with you and the whole team and in front of many people. So first, I would like to tell you and tell everyone here in this webinar that the type of preparation and the quality of people in this particular program are totally different than any other platforms or where you can prepare. So the type of preparation we're currently in is really different than others in terms of you can have one-to-one sessions, group sessions, and inside those group sessions, you can give the interview for candidates, and the coaches can give you the interview so that you can experience what the interviewer is thinking and the candidates thinking as well, so that you can learn from others and learn from the perspective of the interviewer. Moreover, as this team, the people who join this team are really motivated people, and you get to be more motivated by these people, because everyone in this group wants to join consulting companies, and everyone in this group help each other to succeed. So this is how consulting masters is totally different than others.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ahmad. Anyone else would like to share experience?
Hi, Andre. I would like to share my feedbacks about working with Gaurav and Andre up to now. So, is it okay?
Yes, sure. Go ahead, please.
So, basically, I've been prepared. My name is Marc. So I've been trying to get into consulting since September by myself. So I solved a lot of cases, and it didn't work out. I applied to BCG and AT Kearney. At the end, I decided, because of Amr, I got referred. I talked to Andre, and he convinced me to do the coaching. And I can really say that it's been like 2 weeks I'm in this program, the VIP program, and really the feedbacks and the assessment and the one-on-one session, the group session, the webinars, they've been more than helpful for me. There was a lot of lacunes and like negative things that I can't know without a professional highlighting it for me. So I do believe that Gaurav and Andre were, up to now, they're doing an amazing job, and they were helping me a lot to achieve my goal. And I do feel that I am way better prepared to get into consulting now than 1 month ago. Thank you.
Shukran, Marc. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share?
I can go next. Andre, I can go next.
Yes, please, Ali.
So, hello everyone. My name is Ali. I'm a postdoc in Switzerland. I know Andre for more or less 2 months, and my objective is to apply for a big course. Andre is a very hot coach. This is true. He's very serious, but he has really changed all my perspective on the process of the fit interview, case solving. I'm really appreciate all his effort he's putting for us. I hope you enjoy this session.
Thank you very much, Ali. You always seems to trying to catch another train. So have a safe traveling, and see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, Freedom.
Yeah, I mean, guys covered almost everything, but I also see few Indians who have joined in the call. So as an Indian, I can tell you that Andre and Gaurav are literally, they're not only preparing me for the interviews, but they are literally giving me entire story about how you can work in consulting companies, and how you can prepare yourself personally as well with the habits you can have. And it's not only about studying, but it's your personal life, how you can lead it to maximize your outputs. So it is really inspiring, and they are always ready to give feedback on anything. If you just text them on WhatsApp, they are ready to give you a booking for their for a meeting. And additionally, with the expertise both of them have from consulting, I believe, yes, it is actually very enriching for me to learn the processes, how you can structure the problem. So it's more about the problem solving. It's not about cracking a case or everything. It's just about problem solving, and problems are everywhere. But it's not only in consulting but everywhere, and they are experts in this. And I really enjoy working with both of them, and I hope you guys will also enjoy the session today.
Thank you very much, Freedom. Gabriel or Ahmed or Sachin or Michelle, would you like to add something about this, especially about our VIP group?
I can take this if you allow me.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all today. I just want to share my personal experience having had the opportunity to interact with both Gaurav and Andre. I think, in addition to what everyone else has said, one of the privileges of being part of this program is access to the network and community of fellow fellow coach, mentees who are trying to land jobs into the consulting roles. As it was indicated earlier, we have a team of highly motivated people, and to have that is very inspiring to work towards a common goal and objective. And also, the second thing is the networks that come along with it give you access to opportunities that would otherwise not be available to the others. So I just wanted to highlight that. Thank you.
All right, Ahmad. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I think that this is more than enough. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, whoever attends this webinar, feel free to approach our client managers or our current clients in future after the webinar if you want to get in touch and also subscribe for this model. So therefore, let's basically begin with the key part of the show. And Alina, I would like to give the word to you to moderate our next session.
Yes, so I want to ask all of you, friends, please mute yourself on our simulation, because we don't want to disturb our participants, and turn off your cameras. And yeah, so we can start, and Gaurav and Ahmad will participate now in our case simulation. So Gaurav and Ahmad, you can start.
Okay, so before I start, just a quick preface. So we will go through both the phases of the interview. One is fit and another is case. Okay, just to keep a very kind of current feedback. Yeah, so I'll take a pause once the fit part is done, and probably Andre and me can give a quick feedback, and then we'll get into a case, and probably towards the end we can have a case feedback as well, right? So this is how we will go. I highly encourage all of you to also probably imagine yourself answering some of this question. If you have pen and paper, why don't you also parallelly solve the case? Yeah, so that towards the end probably we can also have a discussion, and if you have any queries about the case or the way things have been conducted, happy to answer those queries. Okay, this is a strategy and case, and the interview starts now. Okay. Ahmad.
Hi, Gaurav. How are you?
Very good. Welcome to Strategy and. How are you
doing?
Thank
you so much. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm feeling great actually to be here with you.
Great. Cool. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So I'm I just graduated from Imperial College as a finance and accounting degree. And when I was at Imperial College, I managed to be ranked as one of the top students, where I had been received a certificate of achieving a first-class degree. And during my time at Imperial, I was an equity research analyst, where I was valuing stocks for the investment fund. Before joining Imperial, I was at the American University of Beirut, where I did my bachelor's degree in finance, and I managed to be listed on the Dean's Honor List 2 consecutive times, and ranked as top 14% and top 10% respectively. During my time at AUB, I did several internships, and other than my academic qualifications, I am a basketball player, as I've been part of Riyadh Beirut, Hoops, and other teams.
Okay. That's interesting, but why should we hire you?
Of course, I believe that you can hire me for 3 specific reasons. Okay. The first one will be my communication skills. The second one will be my quantitative and analytical skills. And the third one will be my type of personality. So as for my communication skills, I believe that I have great communication skills that will be an asset for strategy, and as I am capable of communicating and delivering information properly and delicately to people. As a fact, I was able to solve 30 bank products when I was an intern at BankMed, and with this has been done in a very small time frame. It has been more than 50% of my peers. As for my quantitative and analytical skills, I come from a finance background, and during my time at Imperial and AUB, I conducted many projects, and during those projects we had to there was so many things to quantify and too many projects to calculate, and in fact I have received a certificate in my case analysis performance, and I have been ranked in the first in my class. Moreover, when I opened my new firm, I conducted market analysis and potential profits for a new product that I have launched, and it has resulted in a profit margin of 20%. As a type of personality, I'm a diverse individual, as I have traveled all around Europe, and the type of work as strategy and is actually diverse. So that's why I believe that I'm a great fit for strategy and.
Okay. You talk about a lot of projects that you have done in your college, in your work. Can you tell me a project where you demonstrated good problem-solving skills?
Yeah, definitely. I can give you an example where I had to decide whether I need to keep my flock in the farm for one more day, and to see the impact on that extra day that I'm gonna leave them in my farm. So I had to decide whether I need to buy raw materials in order to manage the flock for one more day, or to sell it in the same day. So I had to calculate the potential revenues and the extra costs associated with this extra day that I'm gonna keep them at my farm, or and to decide which one is more beneficial. And this should have been done in only a matter of hours. So I was able to quantify all of this, the revenues and the costs associated with keeping the flock in my farm for one day. And I have decided that I should leave them for one extra day. And this resulted in a $200 increase on my profits.
I didn't get exactly what did you do? What exactly did you do that that made the difference?
Okay, so in managing flocks at the farm, there is a certain time period to keep it at your farm. Otherwise, after a certain time period, you have to sell them. Otherwise, you will start losing money. And at the time where I had to sell the flock, the prices weren't actually as good as enough and as expected. So I had to decide and see whether I should keep the flock for one day. So I have analyzed the market and the previous years, what was the price charged before the holidays and the cost associated with this. And I have decided to go forward, and it actually turned out to be a good idea. And I have realized $200 extra profits.
You think that was a tough problem to solve?
Yes, it was a tough problem to solve because I had to make a decision in 2 hours and do all my analysis in only 2 hours, because I had to contact relevant parties to get me the raw material needed for the one extra day, since I did not have them at my farm.
Okay, interesting. So you're doing very interesting work at your farm. So why do you want to join consulting?
Okay, so consulting, I want to join consulting for 3 specific reasons. Is the type of work conducted at consulting, and the type of people that I'm gonna work with. So everyone knows that consulting is a really diverse industry where you will have the opportunity to work for multiple industries. And by working for multiple industries, you won't limit yourself only in the agriculture or farming business, but you will working on the supply chain, defense, aerospace, and many other things. So the learning curve in the consulting industry is much more higher than any other jobs. As for working with the people in the consulting field, consulting companies hire the best people in the field, and for this you're gonna learn from the best, and you'll be motivated by the best. So that's why I wanna consider a career at strategy and specifically consulting.
You said there are 3 reasons. You only told me 2. What's the third one?
I mentioned 2 actually. Maybe you have heard me in a wrong way.
Okay. No problem. Okay, cool. So let's take a quick pause here and invite feedback on the fit part. Yeah. Andre, do we have any feedback from you or from any of the participants?
Yes, sure, absolutely. But before we go to this, I actually want Ahmad to reflect on his performance.
Yes, of course, I can do that. So as you can see, I'm highly stressed due to this, since I'm new. So, and I'm not fully prepared to answer the questions, even though I have the structure and how to answer these type of questions. So, and with the blackout of the electricity in Lebanon, I got even more stressed. And even though I have told Gaurav that are 3 reasons, but I have mentioned only 2. So the performance was not at my best. That's what I can say.
Okay, all right. We also have devil's advocates here from Pridam, Marc, Ahmad, and our other clients. So what do you think, guys, about the performance of Ahmad? Can you provide some feedback to him? Have you listened attentively?
Yes, I can, Michel here.
Yes, Michel.
Can you hear me?
Please turn on your camera.
I actually don't have a camera on this computer, but I'm going to go audio. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
All right, perfect. So it's the second time I saw Ahmad doing a performance, and it's much better than before. That's my first comment. My second comment to the first question, which was, or the second question, should we hire you? It was going well, but he concluded that he is a good fit for the company. So he gave the conclusion to another question. That was my first comment. The second comment is the problem-solving question. It's not structured enough. The situation the situation is the only thing maybe clear, but there's no complication or concern. There's no task. There's no action. The result is clear. The situation is clear, but in between is not clear. So that would be my comment on that. And I would close my comment for me now and leave someone else to come in.
All right. Thank you very much, Michel. Marc, Pridam, Ahmad, or anyone else would like to provide further comments?
My comments for Ahmad, I do believe I've been monitoring him since the last 2 weeks, and I see a huge progress in the fit part. I do believe that the second question about the problem solving, he could have chose a complete different story, more strong, more powerful, and he could have explained it in a better way. And it's better to always include people when you want to solve a problem, include people with you. You are solving a common problem so people are seeing the change that you're doing. And for the rest, I think Michel had a point about the structure, but honestly, my feedbacks were positive. I think maybe he said he's stressed, but I saw that he was kind of relaxed to be in a webinar under 45 people. So he was able to manage the stress when answering the questions. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Marc. Actually, you have just repeated what I have intended to speak out to Ahmad. So I will therefore take it short. Ahmad, in comparison to the previous webinar and previous group sessions, especially the one 2 weeks ago, I don't see you sweating like hell today. So you definitely have learned a lot on how to manage the stress and you definitely have improved the performance, even though you see that it's not yet perfect. But based on the current performance, you have actually passed that part. You would, if you don't bump the case, if you will continue the same passion to go through the case and ask reasonable questions at the end of the interview, you will make a positive impression. So, Gaurav, please, any additions from your side?
Sure. Yeah. So just not just for Ahmad, but for overall all the participants. Yeah. Very quick feedbacks. Tell me about yourself. I thought it went like a bedtime story. There was no headline, right? I was looking for punch. I did not get any punch. Yeah. Could have been added. Why should we hire you? All the points are soft point. There is no hard point. There is no overlap point. Yeah, good that you were top down and see the difference. Tell me about yourself. No top down. Why should we hire you? Top down, and it came out really nicely. Yeah, you connected with strategy, and at the end, very good. Yeah, only thing is the quality of the content, the point itself. I think you should choose a few hard points as well. Yeah, a lot of soft point, communication and personality. Too many soft points. Problem solving, again, the story was not that great. The story has to be in any story in consulting interview. It has to involve some people. Consulting is collaborative problem solving, guys. Yeah, we are not hiring scientists for NASA. Yeah, we don't want people who will come up with a eureka moment. In the middle of the night. We want people who can work with different multiple stakeholders, right? And that needs to be demonstrated from the stories. Yeah. The last point, I think, probably came out of stress and your electricity playing games with you. So you talked about 3 points and you came up with only 2. Yeah. Again, having said that, work and people, again, both very generic and soft points. Can little bit specificity, little bit talking about somebody that you know at strategy and or that company. Even at this point of time, we are doing a mock. So if you can make it up, yeah, just to get into the structure, yeah, that structure should be strong, yeah, of the answer. So very important that you bake in a few facts or a few hard points in this. Yeah, the story will get sharpened. It will improve in the quality. Having said that, yes, improvement from the last time, for sure. Okay, your client is Finnair Co, a Scandinavian airline with hub in Helsinki. Due to cold weather, the client's planes often have to be de-iced. Yeah, the ice needs to be removed before they fly again, right? Obviously. But because the de-icing need is very unpredictable, the client had decided to outsource the de-icing activity to a company called No Snow. Yeah, they did that last year. However, No Snow's performance has not been very satisfactory. Yeah, and hence the client is considering insourcing the airplane de-icing and have hired you to advise whether it is a good idea.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for this interesting case. So our client is Finnair Co, and who have a fleet of airplanes, and they operate in Helsinki. And they just hired us to consider whether they should insource airplane de-icing. Is that correct, Gaurav?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So I have some clarifying questions to move forward with our case here and also understand more our client. So I have mentioned that it's a Scandinavian airline with a hub in Helsinki. I just wanted to ask if they do have any other locations where they operate.
No. For the scope of the case, let's only consider problem happening in this particular hub area. They might have planes flying and having other hubs in other continents. But right now, we are talking about only the problem in this Scandinavian area.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And I just wanted to ask how this actually works, the de-icing. Could you please elaborate more how they do it?
Sure. So when the plane lands, at the airport, and if the plane has a lot of ice accumulated on the sensitive parts, then that ice, first of all, needs to be removed before the plane can turn around and take off. And that is the activity that involves a manual labor, one, and also some chemicals to ensure that that ice, kind of melts fast or can be removed fast. So it's an activity that involves a skilled labor. Yeah, it's a skilled activity, and it involves some chemicals as well.
Okay, I just have one last question regarding our client. Does he have any financial KPIs in his mind that he wants to achieve?
Right. So yes, they are contemplating insourcing it again, means taking the operation back to themselves again for this de-icing. They just have one thing in mind, that if they want to do that, they want to do it only if the payout period of kind of building that competency again with them, is less than 5 years.
Okay, that's great. I think I have asked enough information to understand the case. Can I have a moment to structure my thoughts?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Gaurav, for your patience. So in order to tackle the issue of our client, I would like to divide my analysis into one bucket, and under this bucket, I would like to divide it into two sub-buckets. The first sub-bucket would be as the insourcing option. I would like to understand the cost savings that could be derived from the insourcing, and how much time we're going to be saving, how much money we will be saving, and the costs associated with this business, such as variable cost, fixed cost, and the initial investment required, so that we can compute the payback period for our client. The second sub-bucket is to compare to the outsourcing activity, where we need to understand the costs associated and the time required to complete the operation. Does this sound good to you?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. I would like to start with the insourcing option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I understand where we can save where we can have derived value from this insourcing options, such as revenues potential? Do you have any data on that?
So what exactly, what kind of data would you actually need? So why don't you, if you want to structure your thoughts, why don't you structure them and exactly tell me, when you are talking about identifying the advantage of insourcing versus outsourcing, what kind of analysis you would like to do?
Okay, can I have a moment?
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Gaurav, for your patience. So in order to analyze more our insourcing option, I would like to consider the revenues by looking at the fleet size and the frequency of de-icing the planes, and to see how much it's costing us, so the price associated. I would like also to consider the number of people required to do this business and the machines required. And I would also consider the capabilities of our client from an operational perspective, so that we can see if they are capable of doing it or they are not capable of doing it, and from a financial perspective as well.
Okay, so what sort of data items would help you?
The number of planes first. Do you have any data on the number of planes?
I don't have data on number of planes, but I have the number of de-icing events. Okay, so number of de-icing events in a year are 3,000.
Great. And how much each event is gonna cost us?
How much? Say that again.
How much cost are those 3,000 events?
Under which option, insourcing or outsourcing?
Insourcing.
Okay, so in insourcing, we have a couple of things. Okay, one is that we are estimating that we might need around 30 workers. Okay, and every worker will have to be paid $4,000 per month. Okay. Plus, we have chemical that used, which is 40 gallons per event. And if we insource that chemical, it will cost us $4 per gallon.
Okay, great. Do we have any other costs associated, such as fixed cost?
Yes, that's a very good question. Yes, we have a fixed cost. So we feel that if we need to set up the capability of doing this activity ourselves, right? So the equipments, trainings, the licenses, etc., should cost us around 3 million.
And this is on a yearly basis?
The one time.
One time.
Yeah.
So this is our initial investment?
The initial investment, yes.
Okay, great. So first you have mentioned that we have 30 workers. Each one is going to be paid $4,000 per month. So this is actually equal to $120,000 per month. Multiplying this by 12 will yield 1,200,000 and 240. So this would yield $1,440,000 on a yearly basis for the workers. As for the chemicals used, you have told me that we have 40 gallons per event that we're going to use, and each gallon is costing us $4. So we'll be charging $160 per event, and multiplying this by 3,000, we would have 30,000 plus 60 times 3,000 is actually equal to 180,000. So this would be equal to 300,000. So $480,000 for the chemicals used, and we have initial investment of 3 million. So here our total cost will be 480,000 plus 1,440,000, and this will be equal to $1,920,000.
I think you are missing out on something. You haven't clarified one of the variable in this equation. You're assuming something.
Okay, the variable are actually the gallons used. Okay, and the fixed costs are, I believe, are the workers, which is 1,440,000, and the initial investment here would be the setup and the license fee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we have a variable cost of $480,000. We have a fixed cost of $1,440,000.
That is not correct. That is not correct.
The first one?
The second one, the labor cost.
Okay, let me do this very quickly again.
No, it's not a calculation mistake. It's a presumptuous thinking problem. Yeah, I think you are assuming that the worker will have to work for 12 months.
Yes.
You haven't clarified the de-icing requirement is how many months per year.
Okay, that's correct. So how many months is it required?
So de-icing requirement is only for 5 months per year.
Okay, so we need to multiply 120,000 multiplied by 5. So this is basically equal to $600,000 for the season. Okay, great. So our variable cost here would be $480,000, $600,000 for the fixed cost, which is for the labors, and $3 million as for the setup cost. Now, what I would like to do here is to compute the return on investment, so that if we can see that if we have a payback period of less than 5 years.
But would you use this?
Then compare it to the outsourcing.
Yeah. So because you will have to compare it with outsourcing. Yeah. Otherwise, you cannot just use this number. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Correct.
Why don't you calculate it? Okay. So this is a number that you have got. Yeah. I'll not comment on whether it's right or wrong. Let's go to the outsourcing side. How would you structure the outsourcing equation?
Can I have a moment?
Sure.
Okay, so for the outsourcing option, I would like to consider the cost per event, and this is divided into the labors and the chemicals used. And I believe there is no initial investment in this case. And I would like also to consider the total events, which you have mentioned is 3,000. And after that, I want to consider the contract, if it's actually a contract between the outsourcing option, to see for how much time we are actually embedded with this certain company. Do you have any data on that? Okay, so we can see here an exhibit which is comparing the two options, insourcing and outsourcing, which is telling us about the number of de-icing events, labor fees per event, the chemicals used, and the cost per gallon. So we can see here the labor fees per event for the outsourcing is $300 per event, and the cost per gallon is actually higher by 20% than the insourcing. As for the chemicals used, it is the same. So let me now go over the total cost so that we can see which one is more costly for our client. So we have $300 per event, and we have 3,000 events. So 300 times 3,000, this would actually be equal to $900,000 for the labor fees. And for the gallons, so $5 per gallon times 40 is equal to 200. Multiplying this times 3,000 would give us $600,000. So the total cost here would be $1,500,000.
And what was it previously in insourcing option?
For the insourcing option, it will be $600 plus for 480,000. So this would give us $1,080,000.
So what's the saving?
It seems now that the insourcing option is less costly for our client by $420,000 on a yearly basis. Now, what I would like to see now is if we can get back the payback period in less than 5 years. Does this sound reasonable for you, Gaurav?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. So to compute the payback period, we have a variable cost of $600,000, and we have a fixed cost of 480,000. So what we need to do here is $1,080,000 divided by $3 million. $3 million, and this is approximately 1/3, which is approximately 33%. And as such, we can have a payback period in less than 3 years' time.
I didn't get that calculation.
Yeah,
it's $420,000 per year, right? And the initial investment is $3 million. So how come the payback period is 3 years?
How much did they tell me in the per year basis?
No, per year your saving is $420,000, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's 3 million initial investment. So what's the payback period?
Yes, just a moment. So 420,000 divided by 1 million is actually equal to 42%. Dividing 42% by 3 is equal to approximately 12.5% on a yearly basis. So and in order to break even, we need 8 years to break even. Yep. So definitely we cannot satisfy the objective of our client. So what I would like to do next is to actually dig deeper and to see whether we can reduce this payback period and achieve a 5 years time payback period.
Okay.
I would like to look into the labor cost again to see just if we can reduce the cost of the labor and if we can reduce the cost of the chemicals used by buying in bulk quantities, or if we can actually reduce the initial investment required.
Okay, so what exactly would make sense? What's the priority analysis for you?
Yes. Well, the priority here would be looking at the initial investment. If we can look at this, since it is of a higher cost for our client, to see if we can negotiate with the government, since we are getting a license for this, and to see whether they can help us with reducing the fees for the IC.
So in order for you to analyze whether the initial investment can be reduced,
So I would like to break down this initial investment cost into multiple costs, so that to see if there is any areas to be reduced.
Yeah, I'll tell you very quickly. Out of that, 70% cost is the equipment cost. Okay. 20% is the license cost, and 10% is the training cost.
So here I would like to focus on the machinery, since they have a 70% out of the 3 million, and this represents actually 7 times 3 is 2,100,000 dollars. So I would like to see from where we are buying the equipment, and if we can find another supplier for our equipment. Does this sound reasonable for you? While taking into consideration the quality.
So I agree that you should first look at the machinery cost. What is the other option other than finding out another supplier?
Okay, so regarding the machines,
yeah,
we can actually, if we have the capabilities and the expertise to build our own machines to satisfy, or we can also rent. Renting the machines, if this is possible, since we are operating for a 5-year period, not on a yearly basis. So maybe this will be less costly for our client to rent it, rather than buy it.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Okay. So,
do you have any data regarding the renting machines to compare it to actually buying it and decide whether we should rent or buy the machines?
No, I don't have it. I just have a question before I would like to close the case is, even if the client makes it to a payback period of 5 years, yeah, what are the challenges you see in client insourcing this activity?
Okay, thank you for your question. Can I have a moment?
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Gaurav, for your patience. So the main challenges here would be the training and the time required to train our people in order to de-ice the planes, since it requires some training, and the people working in the segment need to be efficient and really know what they are doing, since this is a safety measure. Second, here would be if we have the expertise other than the trainings that need to be had in order to operate a new segment. And third here would be what to do with the labor with the off season. Are we going to relocate them or actually we're firing them? And fourth here would be is actually if we are going to meet the safety measures applied by the government, since I believe this is something really tricky and need to be addressed really professionally.
What's the third point? I didn't get that.
The fourth point I have meant is that if we can actually comply with the rules and the regulation of the government from the standpoint of operational expertise and perspective.
That was the first point, no?
And the fifth one would be that if anything, yes, it was just one more. And if anything happened, something bad happened to the planes, the client will be blamed rather than the outsourcing company.
If something bad happens to the plane,
yes, in terms of not de-icing perfectly the plane. So here the issue would be held on the client itself.
Okay, good. So imagine that the client CEO walks in your cabin and he asks for your recommendation. Yeah, what would you recommend him?
Can I have a moment?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for your time. So I would like to recommend our client to not go forward with his plan and insource the operations, since he's not going to achieve his objective of breaking even in 5 years, since he's going to break even in 8. So, however, there are some risks associated with this recommendation, is that he's foregoing a good option from a financial standpoint, since it is less costly than the outsourcing option. However, as a next steps, I would like to recommend our client to renegotiate the contract with the outsourcing company and to find any other outsourcing company if he did not come into terms with this current outsourcing company. Do you have any questions?
No, thanks. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do have some questions for you, Gaurav. So I would like to ask you, what do you value the most about strategy? And
okay, imagine I answered it.
The second one that I wanted to ask is that since you have been working with Strategy Ant for a couple of years, I would like to ask you about a particular project that you have undertaken and had the most impact on you and on the client as well.
Okay, most impactful project. Okay, good. Imagine that I answered it. Yep. Let's stop the case over here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's invite the feedback now from the audience, from the other VIP clients in the group. Andre.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. As usually, Ahmad, let's start with yourself. How would you basically reflect on your performance throughout the case and your questions at the end of the interview?
Yes, as some clarifying questions, I believe that I have asked the right clarifying questions. However, I have missed on the point regarding the de-icing season.
Maybe just, sorry for interrupting you, can you be very specific on what was good and what was not that good?
Okay. What was not that good is the communication with Gaurav. I believe it should be improved, since I was not very clear to him in terms of what I was gonna do next and what's my actual structure. And this is due that this is an unusual structure to me, since it is not a market client, so it has to be structured in a different way. And this was the main challenge. As for the good part, this is the first time I did not mess up the math, even though I forgot to take into consideration the de-icing period. As for the conclusion, it was a good conclusion, I believe, with the right risks and the next steps. That would be it.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Who else would like to share their feedback and observations or ask questions?
I would like to share, André.
Yes, Sachin, maybe you could also turn on your camera.
Let's probably go one person at a time and one feedback at a time. Yeah, so that all will, or at least a lot of people will get a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You talk about the biggest, the most lethal comment that you have.
Most lethal comment.
Okay, so yeah, we want lethal comments.
Okay, so in my perspective, he could have mentioned an additional bucket of the capabilities in the structure itself. So in his structure, I believe that he could have asked you about the probable impact on the revenue also, because if the outsourcing is poor, the cycle time of or the frequency of the flights might increase, and because of which the revenue impact would be there. So now he could have included that in the structure. So in the structure, in the structure, the way I would have put it, the financial bucket and the capability bucket. In the financial bucket, incremental or opportunity revenue saving, and second is opportunity cost benefit, and third is payback period calculation. And in the capabilities in the skills of the labor, whether a client can do that, and capabilities in terms of the initial investment or the chemical purchase, etc. So that is my comment.
Very good point. Yeah. So the revenue impact of faster or whatever, better operations. Yeah. But even if you, I mean, a lot of people have, I think Marc has pointed that out. Yeah. So to uncover that, what question in the clarification phase would have been apt or appropriate that he
I should have straightforwardly asked you, are there any, why the client is not happy with the with the performance. So what does client exact mean of the word performance?
Okay.
Which it is a financial performance, or in terms of the quality and in terms of the quantifiable benefit. So both could have been the KPIs in the clarification question.
Okay, Sachin, great. I think a few of the participants had very similar feedback on this particular part, Ahmad, and this is a huge miss because you almost missed half the case over here in terms of the scope. Yeah, you did not pick up the word unsatisfactory performance. You should have asked, what do you mean by unsatisfactory performance? What exactly is happening here? Yeah, it falls under the ambiguous problem statement bucket, if you remember. Yeah, and you did not clarify that ambiguity. Okay.
All right, sounds good. So who else would like to share their feedback, observations, etc.?
Andre,
so Michelle.
Yeah, thank you guys. So I think the two main things that I have a comment on, and which also applies to me often, is to be really insightful in what is the business and be insightful in the nature of the case rather than jump into just solving the case mechanically. To take a step back, have an insight of what is the business and have an insight of what is the problem, and be more effective in selecting which branch you go on into, which goes back to our point just before. Like, the problem is this, we start with that, and then we compare it. That was the order, the effectiveness, I think so. And the stress has to be managed also.
Yeah, now Michelle, that is good point, but this is at a broad level, right? Now, the way I tried, chiseling Sachin's comment here, it would be very good if you can give comments and also let
by insightful,
what exactly you could have done.
By insightfulness, I mean it's de-icing. So he put 12 months on a year. So he didn't look at the nature of the business. They're removing ice. So he didn't look into the insight, having an insight thinking about the business itself. He was just applying mechanically, solving a case, 12 months, like many other cases. So he didn't take a step back to have some insight on the business. The insight of this business is during the winter. That's one of the comments. The other one regarding the effectiveness, when you build your structure, the two buckets are all right. Feasible capabilities inside the company and the company which is outsourced. But do you start with this one or this one first? Which one is more effective to start with? I think it's the one the outsourcing company. So you're being more effective in going through the structure by starting by this one. So that was what I meant.
Yeah, and just to build on that, again, the way on Sachin's comment, the where you lost that plot when you did not ask the clarification question about about unsatisfactory performance. Over here as well, where you lost it, is the word unpredictable that you missed. If you see, the client planes often have to be de-iced, but because the de-icing is very unpredictable, the client decided to outsource. Yeah, it looks like you did not actually even notice that line, right? So now these are big companies, right? And when holding on to this kind of labor in this kind of unpredictable activities is difficult for them, right? As Michelle was talking about, de-icing is an event that happens typically in harsh winter. That was another clue by the nature of the word de-icing. But other clue was this unpredictable word that you should have caught. And this is to all the participant guys. Yeah, when you have this kind of ambiguous word, always try and get to the bottom of it. Yeah, because if not, then they'll bite you. Who else?
Marc, I think you wanted to speak.
No, they mentioned my point, and I would have done the case first of all, profitability and financial capability and capabilities. Like if I have the technicality to do that, first I would have asked what's the main problem of the bad performance. Maybe it's they're using bad chemicals and I can use better chemicals, or maybe we don't have technicality. My point that I want to raise now is for the conclusion. I think it's I was just thinking about something that when you outsource such a critical event for the performance, if any failure in the plane, you can blame the other company. So financially, it will cover you some insurance, because you are outsourcing the de-icing of the plane, and that can be very heavy ice on the plane if the de-icing was not done properly, and the root cause of the failure of the plane was because of de-icing, you can blame someone else. If you do it in sourcing, you can't blame anyone other than yourself. So that was just a point that I wanted to raise.
Yeah, I have mentioned this actually.
Yeah, he mentioned it, but I
Sorry.
mean, if I just keep a businessman or a consultant hat on, right, then I think this is not a powerful point, because let's say, for example, when someone gets food poisoning in the plane, right, then yes, they can always blame the caterer, but who is the entity which gets affected ultimately in terms of the bad press, in terms of the major impact? Yeah, so it's because of de-icing, if some untoward event happens, yeah, this de-icing company, yeah, of course will get blamed, and whatever they at max they'll get bankrupt. Yeah, but look at the airline. The airline can actually get affected like very huge, right? So people will not just forgive them because it was an outsourced activity. The accountability lies with these big guys. So I mean, at this point doesn't make a strategic sense actually. Okay, who else?
I can add some comments on the calculation for the payback period.
Yeah,
Michelle, I think you have already spoken. Let us just give an opportunity to anyone else in the room. So is anyone else going to provide the feedback or raise any questions? All right, if not, then Gaurav, I would definitely suggest you to take the final feedback before we proceed with the next session.
Okay, cool. So I think on the clarification phase, we have beaten him to the death. Yeah. So I don't want to go there again, right? Again, the implication of that in the structure, which is basically the cost side, which is a primary calculation analysis over here, but also the revenue side impact. They were saying because unpredictable or unsatisfactory performance here basically was coming because of the time that they were taking to de-ice. And as we all know, in airline industry, turning around the plane for the next flight, yeah, the time is very important. So yes, by faster turnaround time, probably it will also affect the revenue, and hence this business case could have been positive. And yes, I also agree that from one is the cost, another is the revenue, and some feasibility bucket was needed to check, whether even they can do it, because if it is very specialized job and it needs some kind of training and license, and 7 months what to do with the labor is a big problem. And in European countries, of course, the labor unions can also be sometimes nasty. Then probably the experts should you should let the experts do their job, and you should run the airline. All those things should have come under feasibility. That's the structure. But overall, yeah, I think not leading the case was observed. Yeah, so even after the structure that you communicated, yeah, I agree that your structure was restrictive. You only focused on the cost implication of the issue. So you only looked at, let's say, half the problem. But even within that, you could have led the case, right? You did not lead the case. You did not tell me after the structure that this is analysis that I would like to go. Analysis, you started with a data question. Yeah, never start with a data question. Okay, tell me the business logic. Why should I share the data with you? Yeah, tell me the logic, and then say that, okay, to support this logic, I would need data. Do you have it with you, or should I do assumptions? Yeah, that part was, I think, I was missing. Okay, I think brainstorming, the labor off-season part came over there, better late than never, but it came over there. Compliance training, yeah. So you hit on a lot of good points, though not all, but that's fine. Yeah, in brainstorming, you are not even expected to go with all the points that I have, but I think over there the performance was good. The last two questions were also fine. Yeah. So that's my feedback in a nutshell. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. So, guys, I would like to ask you for one favor. I mean, can you please turn on your cameras and cheer up a little bit Ahmed? I mean, it was so stressful activity for him to perform in front of you for the last 60 minutes. So can we give him an applause all together? So Abhinandam, Ali Baki, Michelle, Vishal, Tony, Lucas, yeah, everyone in the room. Tony, Ignacio, Jean, Adina, Benjamin, Massimo, Yongi, Mohammed, Zoriana, Anand, Ahmed Nasir, Gatu, Alana. Yeah, so please give the applause to, let's make an applause to Ahmed. Ahmed, by a very, very good tradition, I would like to congratulate you with bombing the interview with the first interview round with strategy, and you haven't passed it. You would have received a very kind message that unfortunately other candidates have shown a better way. And this has never happened to you, because in the real situation, you will perform outstandingly. So my congratulations to you on behalf of Gaurav, myself, and the entire team. We will keep on practicing.
Thank you, Andre. I didn't even want to join Strategy and at the first place.
What a nice excuse. All right, cool. Sounds good. Thank you very much, guys. I would like to give the word to Alina, who will tell you now a little bit more about the bonuses which you will get at the result of this webinar.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Andre. Friends, I want to ask you to leave your feedback. I will send right now the link where you can share your opinion about our webinar, and probably have some suggestions how we can improve and some new ideas for us. It will be extremely helpful for us and important. So I'm sharing it right now. And I will give you some minutes, please, to fill this satisfaction survey. All right, thank you a lot. And also I want to tell that all the participants who stayed with us till the end will receive the following goodies. So it will be a brief presentation of the webinar and a book for your successful case preparation. We will send it to you in your email. And also you can book a free consultation with me, or I will send you right now my calendar in the chat, so you can use it to book a session, to book a call with me, where we can discuss your current situation, speak about your objectives, about your challenges, and understand how we can help you. On the next slide, you can see that today you can use this promo code TalkMasters, and this promo code will allow you to book first session with Andre or Gaurav, and it will be with discount. So on this session, you can try how you can work with us and see if it is comfortable for you, and then like if you want to start your preparation with us. So you can use this promo code today or tomorrow when you will book a call with me, and then you can use it for your first session with Andre or Gaurav. And I also want to invite you to our next webinars this March. So next Wednesday on 10th of March, we'll have Ron Berger first round interview simulation. Same time from 5 till 7 Central European time. Next webinar will be Kearney first round interview simulation on 17th of March from 5 till 7. And next one will be on 24th of March, Oliver Wyman first round interview simulation. And the I will be really happy to see all of you. So please register to these webinars. They will be very useful and very helpful for you. And on the next slide, also you can see our contact details. So you can follow us on our social medias, where you can see all the updates and all announcements, and also read some very interesting and useful posts for you. And also we recommend you to check our website, and there you can also read a lot of useful information about our company and about our work. And I also want to say thank you to all of you that you participated today in our live webinar. It was really amazing to see all of you here and to see your activity in our webinar. And I want to wish you good luck and to wish you a good evening today. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for Alina for moderating this webinar. From my side, I would also like to emphasize that every month we have ongoing mentees who start working with the leading consulting firms. We have also helped multiple people to get offers from Strategy and in different geographies, in particular in Germany and also in the Middle East. So we really know how those interviews are going. Then next week we also have Roland Berger webinar, and as I told you, I have been working for the company for quite a while, so it will be a real life case simulation as well. And if you liked our webinars, feel free to spread this positive word of mouth with your friends and colleagues who are also currently looking for their new job in consulting, and we are very happy to help you. So please get back to us, make the first step today and book a free call with Alina. And on behalf of the entire team, on behalf of moderator Alina, the back office team behind the camera, on behalf of Gaurav and myself, and of course on behalf of our current VIP clients, especially for Ahmad, Marc, Pridam, Ahmed, and all other guys here in the room. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for being with us, and we're looking towards to help you to get your offers so that we can announce positive news about you joining one of the leading consulting companies in the nearest future. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.